So this is something which is constantly being pushed in the fitness industry, where a lot of influencers online are saying that you really need to go high protein diet, that you have to hit a certain number, which is often way too high, and it's actually a lot higher than the amount of protein that you actually need. And this is just so common right now in the fitness industry. A lot of people are saying it, and the reality is that you don't actually need that much protein, and having a high protein diet can actually really start to backfire and work against you. So I found this myself. I found that when I was constantly worried about hitting my protein and stressing about hitting this goal, I realized that I was actually avoiding a lot of the nutritional value that was associated with the food, and this wasn't a priority. I was just worried about counting macros, and I just found that I was eating way too much protein. You actually don't need as much protein as a lot of people think anyway. So it actually works against you in a lot of ways, and I found that when I started to prioritize the nutritional value of my food instead of just counting protein, my physique went from looking like this to how it looks now, where it looks like this. So in this video, I'm going to go over exactly why going high on protein doesn't actually help you. So the best diet you can have if you want to maximize your recovery and your muscle growth is to just have a balanced diet. This is where you have a balance of fats, carbs, and proteins. So the biggest mistake which people make when they on their bodybuilding journey is they just worry about protein, and they go way too high on protein and also too low on fat. So what happens when you go high on protein and low on fat, or you avoid carbs, is that your energy sources in your body is just going to completely be diminished. So you actually need a healthy balance of fats, carbs, and protein for your body to function optimally. And if you drop too much in fat or too much in carbs, what's going to happen is your hormonal levels are also going to crash. So your testosterone is going to severely dip, which is directly correlated to your ability to build muscle. Your energy levels are going to crash, and you're going to have less motivation to actually go to the gym. So this is why it's so important that instead of just looking at protein and hitting a protein goal, just make sure that your diet is actually completely balanced and you're getting a proper amount of fats, carbs, and protein. So studies have shown recently that you only actually need 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So a lot of people think that they need 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, and it's actually been proven that the number is actually a little bit less than this. So if you can just worry about hitting 0.8 grams of protein and that's it, and then have a balance of fats and carbs, this is really going to help to really boost your physique to that next level. And I found that personally, when I started to implement more fats and carbs into my diet, and I wasn't just worried about protein and that was it, I found that my physique really started to take off because my testosterone was a lot higher, I just had a lot more energy, my mood was a lot better, and my overall level of motivation was a lot higher. So hit that goal, hit 0.8 grams per pound of body weight, and then anything above this isn't going to actually help you anymore. So a lot of people think that the more protein, the better. Protein's going to help you to an extent. However, once you hit this threshold of 0.8 grams per pound of body weight, this is sufficient, and having any more protein doesn't actually help you, and it can really work against a lot of people because they go too high in protein and that's the only thing they worry about, and they start to avoid the other key essential macronutrients, which is going to help your body rest and recover and grow. So the next point is just about where you're actually sourcing this protein from. So a lot of people, including me, just used to just source their protein from wherever, and I would just count macronutrients. I wouldn't care if it was coming from fast food, I wouldn't care if it was coming from things like protein powder or the quality of the food and the nutritional value, and I was just looking at the amount of protein. So this is actually really damaging because the nutritional value of the food you're taking in has a huge impact on your ability to build muscle and your overall health. So if you can source your protein from sustainable, organic, healthy, natural meals, things like steak, chicken, healthy animal fats, things like raw milk and raw dairy, eggs, nuts, and some butter as well. This is really going to lead to just having an overall a much better performance when you're in the gym. This is going to boost your energy, it's going to boost your digestion, it's going to boost your overall level of motivation. You're not going to feel as tired and you're not going to get as much brain fog. And overall your testosterone is going to massively improve. This is also just really going to help your body's ability to rest and recover and to actually build that muscle which you need. So I would highly prioritize actually looking at where you're getting the protein from as opposed to just trying to hit a certain number. So I would actually prefer that even if you didn't hit this goal of 0.8 grams per pound of body weight, if you were prioritizing the nutritional value of the food and you were getting healthy animal fats, which have the proper amounts of micronutrients such as vitamins, minerals, and amino acids, which are really going to help with your body's rest and recover, you're going to find that overall, even if you don't hit your protein goal, if you just source your protein from these natural sources, you're going to find that overall your body's performance is just going to be significantly enhanced, as opposed to even if you hit the protein goal, you might find that you're actually going to make more muscle and make more gains if you just source it from natural, organic, healthy food sources. So this is a tip which I found is really useful. Worry about where you're getting the protein from instead of how much protein you're actually taking in. So the last point is just to do with protein powder. This is something which a lot of people are using. It's super common in the industry. And a lot of protein powder is actually causing a lot more harm than good. It's been proven that all the protein powder that a lot of people have is going to cause organ failure. It's going to shatter your hormonal health and your testosterone. It's really going to damage your digestion as well. And a lot of the quality of this whey is sourced from cows which are fed conventional diet. A lot of it is just cows which are not grass-fed, they're fed soy and grain. And this has estrogen mimicking compounds, which when they go into your body are just going to tank testosterone and boost your estrogen, which is going to mean you're going to store more fat and you're going to burn and you're going to build a lot less muscle. So this is one thing to be aware of. If you are using protein powder, I highly recommend that you use natural organic protein powder, because a lot of these other protein powders are just filled to the brim with fillers, additives, just new processed stuff and just chemicals. And all of this is really actually going to create an overall lasting long term. It's going to have a more damaging impact on your body than the benefit that you're going to get from that additional 20 or 30 grams of protein from taking protein powder every day. So that's one thing to be aware of. If you are going to use protein powder, make sure that it's certified organic, it's naturally sourced, and it's actually healthy for you, and it doesn't have all these fillers and all these ingredients in it. So if you can do this, this is really going to help boost your physique. You're going to look a lot better. You're going to also feel so much better. And overall, you're just going to function a lot better. You're going to build so much more muscle. You're going to have so much more energy. And this is really going to help you on your bodybuilding journey, your fitness journey, and also just throughout life. Your overall experience is going to be a lot more enhanced.